Hi everyone, happy Sunday. I hope you all can hear me. If you're watching this, if you could just give me like a thumbs up or a comment in the chat. Well, I guess it's not really a chat, it's the comments. It's funny. I'm outside today, I'm at Congress Park. It's a beautiful day. I've got dragonflies flying around me. I saw a monarch butterfly. It's a beautiful day. And yeah, so it's always awesome to practice outside. And if, with that being said, if you are dealing with any pain or specifically low back or stuff with your feet, sometimes a more flat surface actually works more optimally. So yeah, so I recommend having a block. If you don't have a block, you can use like a thick book. And then if you have a strap or a tie works or a martial arts belt or even a scarf. So any of those things work. You may or may not want it or need it. It's just totally optional. And just like in anything in life, there are no have-tos, there are only get-tos. And that's just the beauty and the magic of it. So this sequence is intended to get you into your body, get you a little more regulated, and to give you some low back pain relief and just general pain relief. So whether you're someone who maybe you just deal with low back stuff or you deal with chronic pain, I know for me, hi Tunda, yay! I know for me, like yesterday I had this beverage that had processed sugar in it, and within 20 minutes, I was inflamed and my body hurt all over. So it's not always like staving off the pain or the inflammation. It's like, what do we do when we encounter the inflammation and the pain? So yeah, so let's just get started and let's just breathe and move together. Maybe we'll have some winged ones visiting. So we'll start standing. And just give me a comment if you can't hear me at any point. So find your feet on the earth. I recommend nice and wide stance. Begin to rub your palms together so you have a little friction. Good. We'll do a little bit of warm-ups here to start. So from here, begin to tap the top of your head, just nice and easy. With all of your fingertips, just tappy tap. This is part of our regulation. And then go to your temples, the sides of your face, maybe your sinus area, the fronts of your ears, your jaw. Go to your left arm, just a nice little pat down your arm, then back up your arm, and then across your chest, right arm. Good, and then give yourself a pat on the chest, and then rib cage, maybe even fingertips if that feels good, or maybe palms. And then just begin to go down your legs. Bend your knees as you come down. Give your thighs your IT band area, maybe you deal with sciatica. You can keep flat palms. You can also do fists. Hi Jamila, yeah. And then all the way down the backs of your legs. Good. From here, you want stable roots, meaning you'll bend your knees and you'll allow your tailbone to sink down so that you're in total agreement with gravity. Then from here, just let your arms be like dead ropes as you begin to move side to side. So the main thing here is you're turning the entirety of your body. You're not using just your knees. You're not using just your low back or your upper back. And then an option to look all the way back behind you if that's okay for you. I know some of you deal with vertigo, and if that's you, don't do that. You can just stay more forward. Just allow your arms to go nice and easy. Breathing. And maybe for some of you, you're more regulated when you get your energy moving, and maybe for some of you, you're more regulated when you're more calm. Good. Bring your legs out nice and wide, then bring your arms out. Yeah, so modified goddess pose. You're all goddesses. Whether you identify as male, female, non-binary, all of that good stuff. Instead of leaning forward, see if you can lean back a little. Maybe chest rises, belly hugs in. Breathe. One big breath in. Shoulders back and down. Exhale. Hands to hips. Step or hop your feet together. Good. And now you'll make your way onto your back. For me, if I'm practicing outside most of the time, I don't like to use a yoga mat. I just like to be on the grass. Points of reference, check for anthills. I learned that one the hard way. So check for anthills, animal tracks and things like that. So you come onto your back, and as you come onto your back, try not to use your hands. Most common wrist injury is when we fall and we stick our hand out. So you do your best. It's a practice, not a perfect. So you come all the way down. From here, you'll find a constructive rest. So your feet will be nice and wide. If you're using a yoga mat, it's likely going to be the outer edges or the width of your mat. And then bring your knees in toward one another. They may not touch. That might not feel good. You can press your low back down and just begin to find some movements here. It's like you can feel your low back curl, your tailbone curl like you have a cheerleader butt or an anterior tilt. You can even put your hands on your belly or maybe on your thighs. And then feel your tailbone curl up. So you have more of a rounded low back sensation. Do this 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. 1 more time. Inhale and exhale. We have some finches out this morning. Draw your knees in towards your heart. Rock side to side. Nice and easy. Let your feet go. You don't need to flex them here. Good. Optional strap usage, or if you have your scarf or your towel, anything you want to use. Extend your left leg so it's halfway between bent and straight. Bring the sole of your left foot down onto the ground. And then extend your right leg up. Bend your right knee so your right leg is about 90 degrees. Grab onto the top of your right shin, or perfect opportunity for your strap or your blanket, towel, etc. Place it on the ball mound of your foot. If you're going strapless today, grab the top of your right shin, maybe your right ankle. Bring your left hand to the top of your left thigh and begin to draw your right knee down. Maybe it comes into your right armpit. Just a few times here, checking mobility here, nothing crazy. Breathing. Good. Release the strap if you have it. And then, if you can, keep your left leg where it is and just flex your right toes towards your nose. Bring your right heel all the way down to the ground. Good. Left knee bends. Right leg is halfway between straight and bent. Sole of your right foot is down. Bend your left knee. Grab the top of your left shin, maybe towards your left ankle. Maybe here you want to use your strap. And do your best to mirror what you did on the first side. So from here, bend your left knee. I know for me, my left side, at least in this current moment, has a little less mobility and flexibility. And you may notice that one of your sides feels like that. So do your best to keep your left leg at about a 90-degree angle. Draw your left knee in towards your left armpit. Good. 1 more time. And then if you have your strap, you can keep it, or release your strap, bring your right hand to your right thigh, lower your left leg all the way down. Good. From here, bend both of your knees. If you have a block or a thick book, You'll place it on the lowest, or really any setting that feels okay in your low back. We're not going like balls to the wall crazy here. The intention is to find release in the low back such that you have a little bit of freedom. So bring your heels about to the width of your yoga mat if you're using a mat. Press through your heels, lift your hips, and place your block, your book, or your prop, maybe a pillow, underneath your low back. If this is just feeling really great here, you can stay. If you're inclined to do more of an inversion, you can begin to lift your legs up towards the ceiling or the sky, depending on where you are. So your gaze is up past your toes if you're in this pose, or up past towards the ceiling if you're in supported bridge. Palms face down, shoulders back. And just take 3 nice breaths here. In through the nose, out through the nose. Maybe close your eyes. And if your legs are up, bend your knees, and then place the soles of your feet back down onto the ground. Everyone lands in supported bridge. From supported bridge, press through your feet, drive your tailbone through your thighs, remove your prop, and then lower your low back down. Hug your knees in towards your heart, rock a little side to side. Got some more dragonfly friends. It's one of the reasons I love practicing outside. And then you can rock and roll along the length of your spine, or you can come through a fetal position on one side. And then we'll land in a tabletop position. And then place your props to the sides of your space so they're not in your space. And we'll thread the needle here. So if you're wearing glasses, I recommend to take them off at this moment. Good. So tabletop position, your toes can be tucked under or tops of feet down. Shoulders over elbows over wrists. And just nice and easy. So you can play here. Maybe your low back, it feels better to have your torso more extended, more elongated. Maybe it feels better to have your knees closer to your wrists. You get to choose, and you can always choose differently if you don't like your first choice. Plant through your left palm. Inhale your right arm to the right. Sometimes we want to go up. I don't always recommend doing that, especially for my low back sensitives. So right arm to the right, inhale, gaze down at the ground, soft left elbow. And then exhale, dip your right shoulder underneath you, right arm to the left. Making sure you can still hear me. Two more breaths. Ideally, you want your right temple down onto the ground. Hi, Anders. Yeah. Cool. And then release to come out. Plant your left fingertips down. Making sure my headset, sometimes it's a little touchy. And then right arm to the right. Then right hand back down. We'll do a neutralizing cat-cow here. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your heart. Exhale, cat round your spine, chin towards your chest, maybe gaze towards your navel. Good, and then inhale back to neutral. Stay for your exhale. Soft elbows here. Plant through your right palm. Inhale, lift your left arm up or to the side. You get to choose. Inhale. And then exhale, left arm underneath. Left temple down onto the ground. And then your right arm extends nice and long, or maybe your right hand stays closer to your face. 2 full breaths. Notice your jaw. Is it tight or tense? Do you have any clenching? Good. And then to come out, you'll plant your right palm close to your face. Underneath your shoulder is ideal. And then left arm to the left, and then back down. We'll do another cat-cow here. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your heart. And exhale, cat round your spine, chin towards your chest. Good. From here, come into neutral. Bring your thighs together, or inner knees together if that feels better to you. Tuck your toes and you'll just find a nice seat. Here, if this is really sensational in your knees, get up, get your block or your prop, and you can place your block underneath your butt. And just pause for a moment and just notice, give yourself 3 full breaths. And then you'll come out. So we're gonna do a little Warrior 2 variation. So if you have something to pad your knees, I highly recommend placing something down, whether that's a blanket. Otherwise, you're gonna come onto your knees, kind of like you would in a camel pose, except we're not doing camel yet. And then you'll bring your right knee to the right. I call this like Captain Morgan pose, even though I don't drink alcohol. Maybe you do, but that's neither here nor there. Bring your right hand to your right thigh. Inhale, lift your left arm up. And then from here, begin to side bend over to your right. Notice if you want to dump into this left hip. Notice how the left hip is coming out. See if you can hug your left hip underneath you. This is also known as an energy leak, oftentimes in the low back. I call this like waiting for the bus texting. We don't want to do that. You want to stack your hip and your knee, and that will create alignment all the way up through your torso. Inhale, left arm is lifted. Exhale, side bend here. A couple options. You can bring your right arm to a server tray. Maybe take a mudra if you know one. Or you can bring your right arm down to the ground for a little active side body strengthening, or maybe to the inside. And maybe less is more today, so whatever is going to maintain integrity in your low body. You can gaze straight ahead or to the side. Maybe you look under your left armpit, maybe you look up towards the sky. 2 breaths. And then you'll come out the way you came in. Bring your hands to your hips, right knee down, and sit back for a moment. Maybe hands on tops of thighs. Close your eyes. Just be present with your breath. I am inhaling. And as you exhale, I am exhaling. Good. And then come on up again. Knees nice and wide, about hip distance. Hands to hips. Captain Morgan, your left knee to the left. And I didn't mention this before, your right knee, or excuse me, your right toes can be tucked or top of foot down. Left hand to left thigh. Inhale, reach your right arm high. Same thing here. Notice any dumping. You can tell because your hip is going to go out. So you want to stack hip and knee. Everything's in alignment here. Big breath in. And then exhale, side bend up and over to your left. And take the same variation you took on the first side. So whether that was maybe hand down, hand inside, or maybe server tray arm with your left arm. Maybe your right hand comes to your right hip. That feels better to you. Or maybe your arm comes up, side bend. Lean into your left leg, left sole of your foot. Maybe gaze under your right armpit. Maybe up towards the sky. 2 breaths. And no part of you is in Shavasana in any of these shapes except for Shavasana. Bonus. Hands to hips. Sit back. Come into a child's pose. My favorite variation of child's pose, I like to have my hips high, and I actually like to bring the top of my head either, if you're okay, if this is okay in your neck, either hairline or top of head, like if you're doing a headstand, onto the ground. So you set up kind of like a little tripod here, and then arms down.
To me, this feels way better and just so much more of a ceiling posture and a full body mudra than a regular child's pose. 2 breaths. To come out, you'll place your hands under your shoulders, push yourself up, and then come up.
Cool, we have about 3 minutes left, and then we'll get into our Shavasana. So, there's a few things I want to do with you all. 20 minutes is not a long time. It's like a third of a class, but even then, 60 minutes is short. All right, so we're going to do bench pose. So, I think it feels better for me to have my fingertips facing away from me, but you can have your fingertips facing toward you. Main principles here is that your joints are stacked, your bones are stacked. So you plant the soles of your feet enough so like you could just like put all of your weight basically into your legs. You can kind of play with the distance too if you've never done this before. It's all like a practice, you know. It's like you get to decide what is optimal for you. So plant the soles of your feet down. Soft elbows as you press through your feet, through your hands. Lift your hips, gaze down the bridge of your nose. Here for 3 breaths. You can let your belly puff out here. Squeeze your butt. And then lower your butt to your heels. Keep your hands where they are. Extend your legs long if this feels okay to you. If you have a yoga mat, you can begin to extend your arms back behind you. Maybe grab the edges of your yoga mat and lift your chest up, soft elbows. So you can feel your low back on the ground, and your toes are just kind of neutral. They're not flexed or pointed. And then to come out, you can either walk yourself up or come into chilling at the beach just for a moment, and then come up. Cool, so we'll do a Kranchasana, heron variation. This is one of my faves. Grab your strappy if you have one. Cool. So a couple options here. You can have your inside leg, your opposite leg. You can have it either bent, or I like the hurdler variation with a leg behind. Totally up to you. Your right leg extends. And do your best to get both of your sitting bones down. If you need to sit on a blanket or a pillow, I recommend doing that. From here, bend your right knee. Maybe give your right knee a hug, maybe a little kiss. You'll grab the sole of your right foot, or you have your strap on the ball mound of your foot once again. And then from here, straighten your right knee. So it's similar to what we did on the ground. This time the left knee is bent. From here, if you have this, grab the outside edge, or you can keep your strap in your left hand, reach your right fingertips back behind you. Nice little twist here. So you want to keep your low back stable. So like your tailbone is rooted down into the ground. So your upper chest, your upper torso, and your heart are turning to the right. Maybe gaze over your right shoulder. 2 breaths. Maybe close your eyes. And then release down. Good. To come out, you're just going to come onto your right hip and then swing your your left leg forward. We're going to do a neutralizing pose here. Soles of feet down onto the ground. Bring your hands to the tops of your shins. Inhale, reach your heart forward, maybe gaze up. And then exhale, round through your spine. Allow your low back to just kind of sink down. And then come back to neutral. Same thing here, just mirrored. Bend your right knee, or hurdler variation with your right knee bent. Strap it up if you want. Bring your left foot in. Do your best to mirror what you did on the first side. So for me, I know I bring my left foot into my left hand first and then find the bind. And it's all about accessibility. People are like, well, I hear this a lot, well, I'm not bendy or I'm not flexible. It's like, you know, I wasn't naturally just like this. It takes practice and effort and intention over time. You can totally stay here if this is your jam. Otherwise, if you took the twist, bring your right hand to the left side of your left foot or into your strap. Bring your strap into your right hand. Left fingertips back behind you, and then twist. So your low back is stable. You can even bring your left hand to your sacrum or your low back for a little measure. We have more dragonfly friends this morning. And then twist, maybe gaze over your left shoulder. 3 breaths. So your left knee is bent. At the same time, you're drawing your left butt cheek back. At the same time, you're pressing through the ball mound of your left foot, whether you have your strap or not. And after your third exhale, gaze back forward and then release the shape. We'll do our bench pose one more time. And maybe you take a different hand variation, or if you like the one that you did, do that one again. Plant the soles of your feet down. Press, inhale, lift. Option here for Vaskrita breath. It's really quick, like a... If you know that's not for you and that will cause you anxiety or for you to become dysregulated, just take some nice, easy breaths. For those of you who want to take it, go ahead for Vaskrita. And then butt to heels, same thing. Extend your legs, walk yourself up. Okay, we'll do one more forward fold and then we'll lay down. All right, so we'll take our wide-legged variation. So here, you can keep your hands. We'll just start. This is like you can stop along any way. It's like a little bus stop. So scoot your butt back so your torso's forward. So this will help set the heads of your femur bones into the sockets. Grab the tops of your shins, maybe your ankles. Flex your toes and kick your heels down into the ground. So you should feel this activate all the way up through your legs. And then you'll also feel the widening in your low back. So you can stay here. Otherwise, you can reach your arms underneath you, grab your ankles, maybe the bottoms of your feet. And if you know Kormasana, tortoise, you can go ahead and go there if that feels okay in your body. And eventually you might have your shoulders below your knees. I know at this current moment that's not the case for me. Maybe you take a sigh or an open mouth exhale. Feel your low back spread, your hamstrings stretching, maybe some sciatica relief. Give yourself 2 more breaths here. And as you're complete, come out nice and easy. Nice and easy. Same here. So you can keep your legs where they are if this feels great to you. I like to bring my legs in a little. Just check back behind you, make sure you're not going to sit or lay on anything. And then just nice and easy, if it feels okay for you, just begin to lower down. You can bend your knees here. I find with my low back, I prefer this way. We have a little bee friend. You can bring your arms above your head for a little heat release. And right here in your Shavasana, practice stillness. Just like your body died. You didn't die, your body died. And anything you hear is simply an external sense. Draw your bottom teeth away from your top teeth. Allow your back body to melt down into the ground. You take an open mouth sigh. Anything you smell is an external sense. It's not you. And we always think about, or it's easy to think about, what we're letting go of, or what we are releasing that no longer serves us. That's great. And it's important to fill ourselves up with the things that we do want. So by virtue, when we think about all the things we don't want, we actually can manifest those things. Or if it's like, I want to release this thing, these ideas or beliefs about my body or about money or about the state of the world or whatever that is for you, whatever judgment or way of thinking or being about something. If you resist that, you end up creating it. So instead, right here in your Shavasana, what is it that you are creating? Joy, aliveness, peace of mind, prosperity. And right here, send love to each and every cell in your body. Maybe you ate something you knew you weren't supposed to, or wasn't in alignment with your diet, or what you're committed to in your world of fitness or health. Say, thank you, body, for being here for me. And I apologize for eating that thing. When we feed our bodies and our cells with nourishing foods, they work optimally, they're happy. And over time, if we eat things that are not optimal for our wellness, our organ systems, our cells can stop working or they go on strike. So right here, if there's anything you're called to forgive yourself for on this day, go ahead and take this opportunity to do so. If you're experiencing being empowered in all areas of your life, fill yourself up with the gratitude and the space of abundance on this day. And wherever you are, whether you are in any facet, any space between those two areas I mentioned, know that you are right where you're supposed to be. Allow yourself the freedom to be on this day. You can stay here in your Shavasana for as long as you feel called to. If you are complete and are continuing on with your day, begin to reawaken your body by deepening your breath. In through the nose. Maybe a sigh. And then slow movements, just reawakening. Maybe side to side wiggles. Maybe a full body stretch if you know one. And draw your knees in, rock side to side. Whatever's going to be most conducive to keeping your nerve system calm. You can rock and roll forward or come through a fetal position. And you can sit on a prop or not. Keep your eyes closed if you can, if it works for you today. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, draw your hands to your heart center. Bring your thumbs into your sternum. This is where your spiritual heart lies. It's deep to your sternum, your spiritual heart. And it's the place in you where God dwells. And bring your thumbs to your third eye. Seal in any knowledge, wisdoms, acknowledgments, anything you're taking with you out into your day, into your life. Bring your hands back down to your heart. Bow your head towards your heart. May all beings benefit from the merits of our practice on this day and every day. Namaste. Thank you all for watching. We have lots of little friends. We got a bee friend here. Buzz, buzz. Thanks, bees. Thanks, pollinators. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here. Hi, Erin. Yay. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the outdoors. Do something good for yourself today. And yeah, I would love to hear your feedback and just love to hear how you're doing. All right. See you next time.